What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you to everybody who came to our Rumhaven events this past weekend in Florida. Well, Thursday and Friday, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale. We had an absolute blast with you guys. What a lovely little weekend it turned into, honestly.
It was quite nice.
It was quite nice.
Beautiful weather.
Gorgeous.
Just really
soaking it in.
Yeah, especially this time of year in New York. It's just disgusting. Coming home, I was just like, ugh. You know, like it's just like landing in the rain, not great. When it was 80 degrees and sunny all weekend. I feel like Joe and I always have the same conversation when we're down there and we leave and we're like, gosh, Florida. Pretty nice place to live.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. The weather is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like night. I like a mixture. I like the seasons, you know?
The seasons are fantastic.
It's nice to mix it in.
You say it and then the reality of it would be not as great as what you would want. But I feel like once we get past this next week of like rainy weather, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we had such a great time at the events with Rumhaven, meeting so many of our listeners in person. I love when we meet listeners that are like, I'm a silent listener, but I'm here. I'm like, well, you showed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not so silent. I love it. I love to see it. So thank you to everybody who came. We went from Fort Lauderdale we went to dinner with my parents, my Aunt Debbie, which was a delicious dinner. And how was the rest of your weekend? Because I didn't see you after that.
That was so nice. The food was amazing. And I got some leftovers. Tasted great coming back too.
Oh, it was so good.
We drove from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale, so really got to, go the full road trip. Which, take a wild guess on who needed to stop to use the bathroom first.
It was me.
We were just joking. We were like, we're powering through, guys. We're gonna make it.
15 minutes
we're powering through. We one stop. We're doing one stop. And that's it. But like, let's see how far we can get. 30 minutes.
We left at 8:20, and shout out security guard Jose who drove us.
Yeah.
But we left at 8:20 a.m. and we stopped at 8:39. I think the clock was.
I think it was
no.
longer.
It was. I'll give it to him. It was like 8:55.
When I first brought it up, I said, you know what? I think I can go like 30 more minutes. So like, we didn't pull over in that exact moment.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, that was quick.
But
I chugged a coffee right before.
The way he did say the announcement of I need to pee was literally 20 minutes, but he did hold it in for maybe another 20.
I already need to go, but like I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and we didn't stop at all after that. That was our one stop.
Yeah, and we got our nice gas station snacks and everything.
Yeah, we did.
Beef jerky.
I enjoyed the drive. I felt like it flew by.
It did.
Yeah. I tried beef jerky for the first time. I think that was the first time I had beef jerky.
2 full albums, Continuum and Fine Line.
Of course.
Yep.
Well, of course. What other albums would we play?
Yeah. I really don't mind beef jerky, but the smell of it, I don't love.
All I think of when I hear beef jerky is Hannah Montana.
Yeah, beef jerky.
Yeah. Say what? Say what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard of. But I feel like I've never actually had it until the other day. It tasted how I imagined it would.
Yeah,
it tastes like
it tastes how I imagined dog food would taste.
Yeah.
Not bad, but not something I am seeking out extra of.
Right, like sometimes when you look at a dog treat,
it looks like beef jerky.
And it also smells like beef jerky.
Like pepperoni.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's like one of those things where I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, please, I'm not like, oh my God, I need more of that beef jerky.
Yeah.
But
and he ate it in record time.
He did. It was actually really impressive. Really. We're going to talk about the April Fool's joke because we didn't talk about it on Friday.
Yeah.
Which was honestly like so shocking.
Yeah.
Like because right before we got in, or right before you walked into the studio, me and Noah were sitting in here, and I was like, you're never going to get me for April Fool's. Like, I'm on guard, da-da-da. And then we sat down to do trivia, and it was in the, like, you played it off. When I was saying you're never going to get me, there was no even a little glimpse of, like, he's planning anything.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was like, it would be too, you're right. It would be too obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything.
Oh, my God. It was disorienting.
No, it certainly was. Just because
they were so good.
Yeah, and also I just feel like trivia, like he wouldn't have. It never crossed my mind for him to bring the trivia guests into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad because Noah was so adamant that he thought we were going to get it after like 5 questions, and then
that is what
and
I
then
told
we
them.
would be able to play a normal game, and we didn't, and then we didn't have time to play a normal game with them.
No, we
so
didn't.
they kind of got bamboozled by Noah. Not
But
gonna lie,
they are on the schedule for September. So
Oh,
big
good.
rematch
September.
coming.
Good. Oh my God, there's a big rematch coming.
Yeah.
We have to win.
Yeah,
But
just like I just see Noah being like, "Don't worry, it'll probably like after they'll catch on after a few questions, then we'll play
Hey,
a normal game." Didn't
we
happen.
did not
Hey,
catch on.
But they're cemented in trivia history now.
They are.
Yeah,
forever. And
yeah,
they were. I
yeah.
literally texted.
No,
I was
they
like,
sold it so
They
well.
were some modern day Meryl Streeps.
Seriously.
Like seriously, there was phenomenal acting.
They exceeded all my expectations.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean, that's why they sold it, and I saw myself getting more and more agitated, but in no world was I going to, like, I think that's why it was a good prank, because I was ever going to call out fans and be like, "You guys are fucking cheating." Like,
Yeah.
that would have been,
I did that once.
and
Yeah.
it's just like we were trying to be, you try and be nice, and it's just not.
but, I mean, they had some backstories that I was like,
They had a lot
Yeah,
of
they had
backstories.
elaborate backstories.
In my head, I was like, "Damn, a lot of backstories."
Elaborate backstories. That's why I was like, yeah. I was joking. I'm like, you guys hacked Noah's computer? Like,
But-
what's
Yeah.
going on?
I saw a lot of people, listeners, said that because we didn't tell them that they also fell
Yeah.
for it. So it's,
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that was A+. That was an April Fool's joke
Yeah.
on us and the listeners. That was some A+ right there. How was the rest of your weekends?
Ugh.
Because we left you guys in Fort Lauderdale for the rest of the night.
Yeah, we asked you
Oh.
guys to send us updates on how
Oh.
Fort Lauderdale was, and you
Oh,
sent us
did you?
nothing.
Yeah.
I thought it was
When we
just
were
general. I
leaving-
thought it was just a general like.
No, and we
include
got
us
a
in our
promise. Like, we'll
text.
promise. We'll send it in the
Did
chat.
we not? Like when we left with your parents, we were like, "Oh, let us know what you guys are
Yeah.
up to."
Oh, I thought it was
don't
just
write,
like.
don't write in the other chat.
Yeah, like, tell us what you guys
I
do.
took it as just more of like a general like, just include us in, because sometimes we'll have our behind the scenes.
Yeah, but we
chat.
weren't included.
No,
No, but because we were
you
in
told us
person, so the
nothing.
chat wasn't like the
No,
chat was
but-
in.
Well, did
real
you guys
life.
have fun?
But
Where did
that's
you go?
that's why we wanted to be
Yeah,
updated.
no, it was nice. We went to a nice restaurant, like by the water, right by the hotel.
That's
In
amazing.
the it was in the W hotel.
And that was it?
The
Nobody,
restaurant.
no bars or anything?
We went back, had a nice nightcap at the hotel, and
You didn't want to go to Senor Frogs?
someone did say
Or
to
you
go
didn't
there.
want to go see Ludacris?
We were all like, I don't know, so maybe it was the sunburn. Like we were just like,
I mean, we had a
Yeah.
couple of days of traveling, tired.
yeah. But it was nice to just, hang out.
Noah actually
Yeah.
hit me with something so funny in the car. I actually cried laughing because
I don't remember that.
we went to dinner in Tampa after our meet and greet with Rumhaven. And after dinner, everyone was in like a silly, goofy mood. We were having a great time. And Noah's like, nobody's going to come.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's going to get a nightcap with me. Like, nobody's going to come to
I
the
kept
bar.
saying-
And he just kept saying, he's like, nobody's going to drink with me. And we were like, no, like, we got to be up really early. Like, we got to get on the road. And he just kept, whatever. It was funny. And then the next day, I'm like, Noah, how was the bar by yourself? And he was like, oh, And I said, well, why didn't you just call it a night? Like everyone else was calling it a night. And he said, because I get FOMO. And I'm like, FOMO with yourself? There was no one
Yeah.
else going to the bar. It was
No, I know.
It was just
Is
you.
Is it FOMO of strangers?
Yeah, and he said it's just FOMO of life.
FOMO
Yeah.
of life. I feel like people could relate to
And no,
that.
I
like,
can't. No, I once you
for
said it,
sure,
I
for
understood
sure.
what
Maybe
you meant.
FOMO isn't the right word, but it's like not taking advantage of
Yes.
your
Yeah, yeah.
situation.
Well, the White Lotus.
Yep.
yeah.
You gotta take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But that's like
You were taking
true.
advantage of the hotel bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, though, hotel bars, it's like, when are you going to be in a nice hotel again? No, I don't. Maybe never. You don't
Yeah,
know.
no, you're right. You're right. But I didn't understand it at first when you said. I was like,
Also,
FOMO.
Sarah
No
did-
one else was there, and then I was
Yeah.
like, wait, now I
Sarah
get
did
it.
join me. Just
Yes.
to put that out there, I didn't go drink by myself. Not that I have any problem. I would.
Yeah,
I would do that.
you've done
Enjoying
it
a
before.
nice,
I've done that
a
many
nice
times.
Yeah, yeah.
drink by yourself, no
Yeah.
issue. But that sounds nice. A nice dinner after the
Yeah.
gathering in Fort Lauderdale. We
Yeah,
had
it was a chill night.
we had some time with our family over the
Yeah,
weekend.
it was lovely.
Yeah, some nice times. How was your weekend?
It was beautiful. It was my grandma's 88th birthday on Sunday. So we had dinner Saturday night. We did brunch on Sunday. Just a lot of celebrating, lovely meals. My aunt and uncle were down as well, one of my cousins. So we got to enjoy. It was really a lot of fun. Sat on the beach on Saturday. It was just stunning. It was really beautiful out.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. And that's really kind of it. We did a White Lotus watch party on Sunday night. And I had to listen to my dad complain for the first hour of the episode.
About how nothing was happening.
Yeah, he was like, "When is something gonna happen?" It's like, "Nothing's happening. Another dud. This is a dud episode."
I think these are the classic dad takes.
Oh, every single time. And he was just, it was funny to see the reactions. But no, it was good. We had a lot of fun. I mean, Saturday we went out for a little bit after dinner and we were at the grouper and the basketball was on the TV.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And
Tough.
we kind of like saw it towards the end and it was 66-59, Duke with like a minute and a half left. And we walked away. We said, "Oh, it's over. Like they're shooting free throws. Like it's, it's over."
Yeah.
So we stopped looking. We just did it. We walked away. We were like out of the dock. We get into our car. We drive home. We walk into the house. My mom's still awake. And she's got the end of the game is on the TV. And my mom looks at us. She goes, "Man, crazy about Duke losing." And we go, "What are you talking about? Duke won." And she was like, "No, they didn't." We're like, "Mom, yeah, they did." She was, "I'm telling you, no, they didn't." And when we looked at our phone, we're like, "Oh my God." We sat on the couch. We had to rewind the TV so we could watch.
Let me tell you, it was insane.
Where were you at home?
So actually, crazy night out on Saturday. Me, my dad, mom, and Aunt Deb went to the casino for 3.5 hours. And let me just say, by the way, these three, if you're going to meet anybody who loves the casino more than it's not going to happen. So all day they're like, "All right, we're going to go to the casino after dinner, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm there." So we get to my dad's like, "Oh, but you want to watch the Duke game?" I said, "Yeah, but we can go right after dinner because we're going to eat dinner early." I said, "We can go at 6:00 and whatever happens, we'll be home by the end of the game." So we go to the casino, which, by the way, everyone ventures off on their own, right? Like, it's a huge casino, and they're all like, "Okay, I'm going." They all know their spots now. These three gamble together a lot. They know their spots. So they split up. I'm a lone wolf. I'm like, all right, well, I'll go find my spot, I guess. I was playing roulette for a long time, and let me tell you, I had a "talk to me" sign on my head, I think, because every old man in the joint wanted to talk to me. And I was
also by yourself.
Yes, I actually had a weird moment where a guy was following me around, and I turned around and I just looked at him, and he said, "I just want to talk." I said, "No." And then he walked away. I think he was like, "Okay, not the girl, not the girl." I literally went, "No," and he just walked away. But besides that, when I was sitting roulette, this old man comes right up to my face, inches away. He goes, "You're not smiling." I said, I just looked at him like this, straight face. I'm like, please. But when some people talk to you, I find it entertaining. Like, I'll talk to people next to me, meet people, whatever. They're always some entertaining creature in some form.
But you don't
the
want
old
to be
men,
creepy.
no, not creepy old men. But I had another guy next to me, and I hit a number, and I had more money on it than him, and he was like, "Oh, I had money on that too, but not as much as you, apparently." And he's like screaming. I'm like, "I'm sorry, dude." And then he left. He left the table. I was like, "Okay, sorry." So I actually was having a pretty entertaining time by myself.
Yeah.
Besides the guy following me, nobody was happy to hear that. When I went to go find my parents, they were like, "What?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
After I got off the roulette table, I passed my dad. My dad's nursing 2 slot machines. Like he's sitting in front of one and he's playing the other one too. He's tapping 2 spins at the same time. He sees me and goes, "Oh, thank God you're here. I need you to sit in this seat." And I was like, "All right, I'm on it." Me and my dad sat next to each other at these 2 slots for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, like nonstop, because we were winning, but it was like we were right there, It was just one of those things that and then my dad would be like, "Okay, cash out. We'll take that money, and then we're gonna put a little bit more in, so we know that we have this money." It was like we were doing mathematics, the whole plan. And he's like, "I could feel it. You're gonna win me this." He's like, "You got the tap going." He's like, "You're gonna win me this." And I was like, "Dad, I'm gonna fucking win you this." I did not. Shocker.
Yeah.
You're at the casino. It's just they make you believe. I really
don't fully understand how the slots just confuse me.
It depends which ones you play, and my dad has his one. He likes to play roulette or blackjack, whatever. But these certain slots that have more to them than just the sevens or whatever. Like this has a little more magic to it. But I was like, because it kept going up and whatever. And, you know, we didn't get what we wanted, of course, but it made us for an hour and a half believe that we were going to. So that was fun. But we were watching the game on my phone in between the two slots. I had it down. And I was like, Duke was winning the whole time. So we were like, oh, nice. Okay, cool. Duke's winning. Whatever. My dad's like, oh, shit. I forgot to bet on the game. I was going to bet on Duke. And I was like, oh, whatever. And then we get home. There's like, I want to say 4 minutes left in the game. So we were watching the 4 minutes that were left. All of a sudden, it just goes downhill. Aunt Debbie's calling herself bad luck. She's like, I got to get out of the room. I wasn't watching before. Now I'm watching and they're losing. She's like, I'm going to leave. Then she left. Yeah. And it just progressively, no, it did not do the trick. And it progressively got worse and worse and worse. And my dad was like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't bet on the game. I was like, oh, yeah. But I was watching, Matt was on Instagram Live because he was at a bachelor party, a different casino, watching it live there. And it was like, you know, the hopes and dreams just got sucked right out of him.
Couldn't believe what
and he
just
said
watched.
Like there were so many other bachelor parties there and so many other guys that were obviously just like screaming at him and rubbing it in his face. And
that's
you can imagine that's not going to make somebody happy after their team just lost.
Yeah.
Sucks. That did suck. And, you know, I become invested in the last couple minutes of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that does suck. But there were a lot of happy people out there. You know, a lot of people despise Duke. So
I don't know. Yeah, that is true.
And
I don't
meme
know.
was just perfect.
I mean, the Jason Isaacs wearing a Duke shirt the entire season with the gun and then last night's episode,
I was gonna
the
say,
opening, he's wearing the Duke shirt and he's popping the pills, and Matt's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I know. And then I don't know if it's the same. I would guess yes, but when Zion was negotiating with Gary, Greg, whatever, he was like, I went to U of H. And I was like, is U of H Houston?
Wait.
University of Houston?
Wow.
What else would U of H be?
He said U of H?
I think he said U of H.
That is Houston.
I feel like people would have said something online.
I
don't know why I thought he said some other college.
I think U of H is Houston.
U of H is Houston, but I don't remember if that's what he said. That's
I'm
insane
like,
if he did.
I picked up on it immediately that he was like, I went to U of H business school or whatever he was saying to like try and say that he was like good at negotiating.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
insane.
crazy?
Yeah, that is really crazy. Wow.
Oh wait.
I mean,
people are saying that. Someone said UH Hawaii, but that can't be right.
Maybe
because she works in Hawaii.
She did, yeah. But I'm pretty sure he said U of H.
Yeah. I do see other people saying that they think it's Houston.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because it's like, is Belinda from Hawaii or was she just working in Hawaii?
Yeah,
you know?
That's a good question.
Because I think she was just working in Hawaii.
It really was a crazy foreshadowing for the season of Duke. They should have seen it coming. I mean,
right. They knew they were just shit out of luck after that.
Yeah, but that was insane. I know I texted you and I was like, "That's tough." I just wrote and you were like, "Wait, we didn't see," and I was like, "Oh my god."
No, I wasn't looking at my phone. We were like leaving. I finally looked at my phone. I had like 20 text messages from other group chats and stuff, being like, "Holy shit, can't believe that just happened." And I was like, "Oh no,
bad, just bad."
Oh no,
but
yeah, I know. I probably do fall into more of a Duke hater category than I do a Duke lover. I've become a little bit more indifferent, but for many years it was like a passionate
Duke
hate.
Is Syracuse's like rival when they went to the ACC.
Yeah.
I always
that makes sense.
That does make sense. But so that national championship is on tonight.
Yeah,
but
who are you rooting for?
A little bit sadder.
I guess
Florida.
I
think Florida
against the people who beat Duke.
No, I
like the Florida team.
And it seems
Florida's
like
kind of
everyone thinks
another one.
Florida's going to win. So it's like, all right, well, I'll just go Florida.
Right.
Oh, really? I'm the opposite. I'm like, if everyone wants Florida.
I
like,
was
or
really
thinks
excited.
Florida.
I thought Florida Duke would be like a really, really great. And I mean, I don't know what'll happen tonight. Obviously, it's not like Houston isn't good. They won, you know.
Yeah,
But-
I'm just like not invested in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah,
care.
now
Now I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no offense to Houston, but it's like.
Totally.
eh.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
Yep. My
I
brother
do
thought
love-
he won his bracket and he didn't, so that was a tough one. He got all excited, started celebrating, and then he was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
shit.
actually, no."
Damn, that sucks. I do love like a comeback story though. You know what I mean? Like watching the Houston team be like, "No way!" I'm like, "Oh, that must feel so cool for them." You know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because they're all like number 1 seeds, so it's not like
Yeah,
any,
it's not like they're like
Right.
underdogs.
Yeah.
Right.
So they are all great teams, but
Yep.
yeah, great weekend, and we're ready to get back into the week here,
Yeah.
guys. Let's get into it. I want to talk about the White Lotus, so I'm really trying to get to the weekly watch report because
absolutely.
wow, I want to dive into all that. But we do have some topics to talk about. We're going to be talking about some Zoë Kravitz and Austin Butler rumors potentially.
This came out
Didn't
of
see that one
nowhere.
coming. Michelle Williams, hilarious Instagram posting about some nasty bare feet on a plane next to her. Gabby Windey and Clayton are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Yeah.
They're fighting. And Justin Bieber posted DM if you want to make music, and it seems like Drake
Yeah.
maybe took the call. And then we have the weekly watch report. So let's get into it. Start off with the topics.
They don't make it easy to buy concert tickets these days. You guys know it. We're complaining about it all the time. You got to sign up for the pre-sale, get into the queue. And by the time you get through, the best seats are probably already gone. Going to a concert should be about the show itself, not waiting in a virtual line. Lucky for us, we have Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, on April 22nd for Earth Day, when you select and purchase a super deal, Game Time will plant a tree with the proceeds. I have been eyeing these tickets for months. I got my eye on them already. I've talked about it a bunch, but Gracie Abrams is in New York this summer, and I am monitoring those tickets because I want to make sure that I am at those shows. And if you have something coming up, your favorite artist is coming to your city, monitor that Game Time app, check it out. And like they said, the tickets actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. So what are you waiting for? It is time to buy those tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
So these Zoë Kravitz and Austin Butler rumors really came out of nowhere, although I can see it. Now, this is one I see way more than I see the Zoë Kravitz and Noah Centineo,
Yeah.
which now I'm just thinking must be a film.
Right.
But Zoë Kravitz...
We're going purely off aesthetics.
Yeah, like, it's just like, no, like serious actor
Yeah,
type.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know Noah Centineo is a serious actor, but not as serious as Austin Butler. I mean, nobody could be as serious as Austin Butler in the world of acting. I thought that there were rumors about Austin Butler and Madeline Klein. Dumois was posting that for a while, that Austin Butler and Madeline Klein were seeing each other, which also made sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody in Hollywood's just like, yeah, whatever, it makes sense. But the Zoë Kravitz and Austin Butler, I'm like, you know what? I really can see that.
I know. I thought so too. And this is really not coming from anything too substantiated. It's a source told The Sun that they have been spending time together over the past few weeks. Are they in a new movie or something together?
Zoe and Austin?
Yeah. Because this is the caught stealing.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking that they make sense together.
Oh, it comes out this summer. They're both in it.
Oh.
Caught
Yeah,
Stealing
and
is an upcoming crime thriller film. Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Regina King, Matt Smith, Bad Bunny, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so they were kissing on that set, so they must be romantically involved on the set.
Okay, so you know what? This one makes me not buy into it a little bit more because sometimes I feel like they just want, maybe they're stirring up a little pre-movie,
Well,
little
Sydney
pre-movie
Sweeney.
whispers, you know? pre-release whispers.
Right. And now I'm looking at an old Daily Mail article from August 2024 of Austin Butler and Zoë Kravitz gazing into each other's eyes, but with Channing Tatum.
Right,
because
right,
they
right,
joined, Zoë Kravitz shares sweet moment with Austin Butler as they joined her fiance Channing Tatum at the Blink Twice After Party in New York City. But they look like, I saw this photo and I said, oh, they're gazing into each other's eyes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then I realized it was with Channing Tatum.
Huh.
So now I'm not quite sure I buy into all this. I'm a little bit confused.
Right. The source did say they got on very well and their chemistry is as good off screen as it is on. Austin and Zoe have been keeping it under the radar and aren't putting a label on anything yet. They are both very respectful of their ex-partners and are just seeing how things go.
Now I don't know about these two. I thought maybe there was something, but I think I was going off based off the fact that they were shooting a movie together and kissing on set from pictures that I saw.
Right. Which does make sense for sure. But maybe there was a little, I feel like they both kind of like an on-screen and take it off-screen type situation.
Mm-hmm.
We know it just worked for Zoe and Channing, obviously, and then didn't work. But and also it's like that's a very nice sentiment for them to be respectful to their exes. And Channing Tatum's out and about with his new girlfriend, no problemo. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Which I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not dying about this new relationship changing,
Right.
but what does he care what
Well,
I think?
and-
But
and-
I'm just like,
Well, no offense to her. She's just not. She's not a big name.
yeah.
So I think we have always gotten so attached to the big name. Like it was like, oh, the move and the movie. Like Channing Tatum also was an off-screen, on-screen guy.
Right.
It was like, Jenna
Jenna
Dewan
Dewan.
on-screen, then off-screen. Zoe on-screen, then off-screen.
And didn't he date Ellie Goulding?
Did he?
No, not Ellie Goulding. That was Ed Sheeran.
Oh, yes.
Channing Tatum was with, Jessie J.
Jessie J. That's correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
So I think but I also think she looks really young in this model. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's also maybe
She
why.
is. She is. She's like 26. So, but that's definitely a factor for sure. But yeah, I think with something like this, it would make sense. But it's interesting because I'm saying that they've been hanging around a lot, but I feel like we haven't seen them, so maybe they've been in the shadows. There haven't been a lot of pictures of them.
Yeah, maybe they've been laying low.
It's been Noah Centineo.
Yeah, right. Noah Centineo has just been the mask this whole time.
Yep.
Which we must find out what's going on with this movie now. Though, like, if Noah Centineo and Zoe Kravitz are making a movie together, I'm a little bit more interested in that at this point.
Right. Well, listen to this this timeline here. They were spotted locking lips on set in October 2024. That's when they were filming the movie. And she did call off her engagement to Channing Tatum in October 2024. Ooh, interesting. Maybe there was a little extra something she felt for Austin.
Shoot. Damn.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to say, but it could be.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
I know. So
That was in October? Time
was in
flies.
October. Time does fly. I know.
Holy shit.
I know. Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out on this situation.
Yeah. And Austin and Kaya did kind of break up around that same time too.
They did.
It was later in the year. Towards the end of 2024, this says that they broke up.
Ah.
Interesting.
If I had glasses
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
I'd be pulling them down a little bit
Yep.
and
Go.
looking up from them.
The wheels are turning.
They
now.
are. I feel like a bicycle inside my head
Yes.
spinning real fast.
So we got our eyes on you two.
Yeah, we got our eyes peeled, you crazy kids.
Yeah. Although let me tell you, this makes for a great press run for them when they start
for
promoting
sure.
this movie.
Let's do it up like
Now we're
Sydney
gonna
and
get
Glenn.
right now. We're gonna get Zoë Kravitz, Austin Butler doing press together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm eating that up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
100%.
I really am. And then for my sides too.
Yeah.
Like I'm into it.
All portions.
The more we talk about things, sometimes the more it grows
It
on
does,
me. Like I'm like,
100%.
oh wow, we're really
Yeah,
getting to this,
yeah.
and I'm really eating it
No,
up.
we built it up that these two are meant to be together.
Right
I
now,
think.
all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
forget Channing.
Yeah, right.
These
Austin
two,
was right in front of her the whole time.
the
She
whole
didn't even know.
time. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Well, we're gonna keep our eye out on this
Yes.
one. I'm invested. Just like I'm invested in this Clayton and Gabby fighting situation that's going on. Now listen, here's the thing. Gabby Windey at this point could say literally anything and I will buy into it and laugh. I will. Yeah. I'm like, yes. Yep. You're speaking the truth. Yep. You're hilarious. Like everything Gabby says. And I think we're all like that right now, you know? So now
she's on an absolute heater right now.
She is. She's on a heater. She is just fucking hilarious.
She's the moment right now.
And you just buy into her and you want to listen to every word she says. She found herself talking a little smack about Clayton, who, let's remember, Gabby was on Clayton's season, as was Rachel, and Clayton broke up with the two of them at the same time, which then prompted them to have their own Bachelorette season that did not end well.
Love them both, the whole thing, you know.
He loves them, the whole thing. Gabby went on to, make fun of Clayton's dancing, kind of called him ugly.
Yeah, she did. I believe she said he looked like a toe.
No, I thought she said toad, but either one is insulting.
I think maybe toe.
I think toe like the toes in Spy Kids.
Yeah. Now
to add on, I was just saying, trying to think what Gabby's thinking here.
I listened to the episode. She was on Las Culturistas. They were joking about her time on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, because she's just such a obviously different person,
which is an amazing crossover, by the way. Gabby Windey on Las Culturistas.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. I was so excited when I saw it.
It's so good.
And they were laughing, they were making jokes, and yes, some of them were at Clayton's expense. And
who hasn't sent Clayton's videos in their group chat making fun of him?
Right. It's
but I'm not. But I am.
And look, there is the ability for women to make jokes and make fun of their exes should not be taken away from them. Mm-hmm. That's the tale as old as time.
It is.
Joking around with your friends, making fun of your ex.
For sure.
I wish him well. Hope he's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to make fun of him. He's my ex. Sorry.
Sure.
It's that, maybe that could be a controversial stance.
I don't think it's controversial.
Would hope it's not.
I don't think
it's kind of one-sided, though. You have to admit. Like if Clayton were to say what she said about her.
Well, yes. Here's the thing. What we can get into,
bad.
Like Gabby, that's like Gabby's sense of humor.
Right.
Like if Clayton all of a sudden, like it would be so off-brand for Clayton that it wouldn't make any sense.
Right. Like, listen, if somebody else other than Gabby gets on and is like, Clayton looks like a toe and I hate his dancing and he's this, people are probably gonna be like, yeah, that's mean. They'll probably say it about me, what I just said. They'll say, that's mean. But with Gabby, it is her sense of humor.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to ask Gabby straight up, like, I think she'd be like, I'm kidding. Like, I was just kidding
also,
around.
like, Gabby makes fun of herself. She makes fun of her own look. She makes fun of
everybody and everything. So it's like,
I don't know. I just think like the response from Clayton was very serious. Mm-hmm. Sit down, address the camera, said she was bullying him. You're gonna lose me a little bit with the bullying in that sense.
No, I agree. And also,
Clayton, I want Clayton to keep dancing.
For sure. Like, if it makes him happy.
It makes him happy. He loves doing it. It's taking him out of his comfort zone. He loves dancing. I see the videos. I watch them. But I'm not his ex, so it's a totally different situation.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before.
Ex
on this
is probably a very loose term.
We've talked about this on the show before, and I forget who it was with, but it was like, I admire people who put themselves out there and do what they like to do, even if people think it's cringy or weird or whatever it is. And if that is dancing for Clayton, then he should absolutely do that and keep doing it. It makes him happy. People watch it. People like it. Like, that's fine. On the other side of that, you're going to have people that do make fun of you. And I'm sure you know that. I mean, I'm sure there's things that we do or I do that people are like, ugh, cringe, but like you like doing it. So
you're going to keep doing it.
You're going to keep doing it.
You just have to accept that some people are going to call it cringy.
For sure. And like, I think, put yourself out there, do whatever you have to do. Gabby is just like a jokester. So, it...
And look, we're probably biased. We love Gabby. I think that...
Yeah, that also is another thing.
We're going to come to play. We can admit that. And I'm sure people listening are like, no, that was mean and uncomfortable. Totally fair if you feel that way as well. It's just, I think in this circumstance and knowing Gabby, like she does not have... She's not mean-spirited. She's she's not at all.
It's not coming from an evil place.
It's not. It's not coming from a bullying place. No. It's like laughing at your ex when you see your ex doing something cringy on social media, and you're laughing with your friends about it being like, you see the last video he posted?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, Gabby leaving that and not thinking twice about Clayton or what she said about Clayton, not even giving it a second thought, and it's really not coming from a mean place.
Yeah.
You know, if it's somebody who doesn't really talk like they're joke, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh God, whatever, it's
right.
different.
It's going to make you feel worse because clearly it hurt Clayton's feelings that he felt he needed to, post a whole response to it. But it's just...
Clayton should just make the cringiest dancing videos of all time now.
I just think it wasn't that
dressed as
serious,
a toe.
He should say that as like he hasn't already been doing that.
No, but I'm saying that he should just lean in extra hard now.
Yeah. And look at the guy. He's going to keep dancing his little heart out. So
as he should.
Yep.
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 If it makes you happy,
yeah.
Clayton, keep doing it.
Amen, sister.
Keep doing it.
Put on those dancing shoes.
Seriously,
and get out
tap
there.
away.
Yeah.
Seriously, go for it.
Yep.
Moving on, this was hilarious. Michelle Williams was posting on her Instagram that she had somebody with their bare feet putting their feet up next to her. And she was sitting in the first class cabin. And I mean, this is just never okay. Like, let's be honest. Taking your shoes and socks off on an airplane should never be allowed. Even when people come on wearing sandals. First of all, I'm like, aren't your feet cold? I like, oh, whatever. But this, the hygiene of it all is just despicable.
And the whole, now I'm being distracted because I just opened Instagram to find the post from Michelle, and the first thing to pop up is a Dumois post that actually says the sighting was submitted last Monday and a breakup email submitted last Thursday was that Gleb and Brooks plus her whole family were filming. There's been a lot of sightings of them that they may be filming a show. I saw an Us Weekly article last week as well that said that the Nader girls have something going on in that space. But now that there was an email that says, was at an event, and this was from last week, was at an event hosted by Brooks Nader last night, huge filming crew. They're filming a show. Everyone signed the releases. Gleb cheated on Brooks, and she dumped him yesterday. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. Perfect timing while filming a TV show.
No, right. What? Oh, they're filming a TV show and they just happen to be together,
Gleb
and then he
cheated on Brooke. When has he even had time to cheat on her? I feel like he's been with her all so much.
But the
I guess
tour,
they're
the
on
Dancing
tour.
with the Stars tour.
He
I
has
mean,
been on tour.
Is he
What a
fucking
cliche.
serious?
What a cliche.
Is he fucking serious?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't put anything past that guy, to be honest.
That's actually genuine. How fucking dumb do you have to be?
Yeah.
No, seriously, how dumb do you have to be to do that?
And he had quite the good setup right now, especially if these rumors are true. If they are filming a show right now, like I think a show with them is really gonna pop off. The girls are so funny and so entertaining that I just think like what a great way for, if Gleb cares about staying relevant, it would be staying on that show.
No, but what the hell is wrong with... Okay, first of all, I mean, I never even bought into their relationship to begin with, though.
Yeah.
And then people are
I know,
posting
but then
together,
they really started seeming like they were dating these last few months.
Then it seemed like they were really dating.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh my God, I love them, I love them, I love them.
Holidays, family
I
vacations.
mean, seriously.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
I don't know.
How dumb do you have to be?
You got to be pretty dumb.
How self-obsessed do you have to be?
Dumb. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a fucking idiot. Makes her a great TV show, though.
I know. We'll see if that's true or not.
If that unfolds.
Right, because this is also, just to clarify, this is, anonymous email sent to Dumois. So don't know for sure, because I have seen Gleb on a lot of their socials. Like even the sisters have been posting him a lot too, that he's been around. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. But back to Michelle Williams.
Idiot, if that's true. Jeez.
I know, it's crazy.
Please.
I know you guys see all the different companies, supplements, everything on TikTok, Instagram. Things are getting thrown at you all the time. You're trying new things. You feel like you're seeing something on TikTok. You're like, I have to try that. But in reality, they're still keeping their proprietary formulas a secret. You don't really fully know everything that you're getting. That's why clean supplement company Ritual has pledged to complete clinical trials on all of its products by 2030, with trials already done for best-selling products like their Essential for Women's 18+ multivitamin and skin hydration supplement, Hyacera. You can see all the results and learn more about Ritual's commitment to clinical trials at ritual.com. I take the Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin every day. It is so easy. 2 capsules. You don't have to worry about it because, sometimes you have your little vitamin case. You got all these different pills. You're trying to take all these different things. The multivitamin has it all jam-packed in those 2 capsules. The multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day. And it's designed to be gentle on the stomach with a minty essence in every bottle that helps make taking your multis actually enjoyable. So no more shady business. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus is a multivitamin you can actually trust. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/chicks. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/chicks for 25% off. I was looking at this and I was trying to see the foot, where she posted the picture of the foot and like where the foot was situated and where she was. And now I think she was sitting in a seat, a window seat. And if she turned to her right to the window, or left if she was on the other side of the plane, that somebody had their foot right in the crevice.
Yeah, behind her. The person
behind her, right close. And that is, there are many levels to it. And I know some people take their shoes off on planes. But if you're barefoot, at least keep your bare foot in your space. You're putting it up into somebody else's space.
You have to keep your feet in your space no matter what. That is inhumane behavior.
Look at those toes right there peeking out.
I mean, if I saw someone's toes right next to me like that, first of all, I'd tickle them.
Yeah.
I'd tickle them
Give
first.
them a little tickle.
I'd tickle, and then I'd pop up and say, just kidding. What the fuck is wrong with you and your little toesies? Get your
foot.
piggies back to the market.
Seriously.
And out of my space.
Take all 5 of them back.
Oh, God.
Ugh. And they have their foot up like this, and they're just
really
right in someone's space.
Who the hell they think they are?
Now look, on a long
I'm in
flight,
first class.
I know.
I could take. I'm not wearing socks right now. Imagine.
No, put those away.
I know it feels weird.
Put those away.
I feel naked in front of you right now. I feel like I'm naked.
Even sometimes when we're recording in the summer and I come in sandals, I feel uncomfortable.
It feels bare and unusual.
Now I will say on a long flight, I will take my shoes off, but I'm always in socks.
Yes.
Always.
Socks.
I also, the thought of traveling in a sandal where your feet are out anyway.
Yeah, cold.
Yuck.
And people are looking at your feet.
Yuck.
I don't want to see your feet. Although I don't have like a thing against feet so much in the way that other people do.
No,
I don't have a fetish, but I don't have a like, ew, feet.
No, I'm not
like,
disgusted by feet.
People like freak out. They're like, I can't be near a foot. And it's like, okay, well, relax. You're just being dramatic, just how people are dramatic about the word moist. You don't actually hate the word. So let's move along. This, though, is just really psychotic behavior because it shows me that you think you run the world. It's your world. We're all just living in it. And that's that. That's like when
putting
people
it that close.
That's how I feel about when people cross the crosswalk while the red hand is up and you're driving and they're crossing. Your world.
Yeah, right.
Forget me. It's your world.
So true. So true.
Nobody else lives in it. Sorry.
I was laughing because Michelle has made a lot of comments
recently.
And by the way, this is Michelle from clearly.
It happened a couple times recently.
Rhea road rage Tiffo.
I roll down the. This is what I do. I roll down the window. I go, "Your world."
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh man. But this is Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, and she did leave it up. And has been still talking about it. And honestly, I was cracking up because the comments were really making me laugh because she did clarify that she was sitting in the first class cabin. And then she said seat 3F, the F is for feet. And but then Beyonce's mom, Miss Tina, did comment. She was like, I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. Accidentally waste some ice cold Coke on him. I bet he'll move them then.
It's also the funny.
Imagine you just like poured your glass right on that foot.
The funny irony in it, though, is like, I'm so sorry you have to go through that in first class.
Yeah, right?
Gosh, that is just despicable.
Yeah. Yep. But man, people were really... everyone was laughing in the comments.
I mean, it's crazy. You see some crazy shit on flights sometimes. Let me ask you now. I have a question for you. This is a man question.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it's a gentleman question, I may say. Say you're sitting in the aisle and the row next to you, there's a woman in the aisle. So picture me and Fran, but I'm you. And we're both coming out. Do you let the woman go first, or do you try to get out?
You're
first?
saying we're in the same.
You're in the same row,
Oh,
just
yeah,
across
of
from each other.
course.
You let the woman go first.
Yeah. She's in the row behind us now.
No, obviously you're not gonna.
If I'm in 13 and she's in 14,
no way. No way. That's
personal
that's
policy.
fair.
Of, like,
that's
if you are in a row behind me, you are not getting.
You wait your turn.
Yeah.
But if you're in the same row, but it's just you're on the left, she's on the right.
Honestly, I let everyone go in my row. Like,
what's wrong? There's something in your hair. Oh, whatever. It's probably crumbs. Oh my God, it's a piece of my cinnamon raisin bagel.
It's a piece of your cinnamon raisin bagel for sure.
Shit.
Look at that.
Oh my God. How disgusting. I was saving it for later.
Yeah. Classic joke.
No, that's gentleman. I mean, you should.
As you should. Yeah.
The guy
I'll even help you get your stuff if you need it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice, as you should. The guy next was across from me on the row yesterday. He jumped up immediately. He's taking up the entire space. I'm like, excuse me, trying to get my bag down. He goes, oh, are you getting your bag down? I said, yeah, I'm trying to get my bag down. Oh, my bad. Stands in his exact same space. I'm like, are you fucking? And then I'm just glaring at him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he went before me.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just like, I now got a little taste of who you are as a person on the streets.
Right.
You won't hold the door for a lady.
Right.
You don't
Chivalry
open the
is
car
dead
door
for
for
that
anybody.
guy,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
guy, he threw chivalry out the window a long time ago. He said, fuck this, I'm over it.
I purposely don't stand up until, like, because I don't want to be that guy. Like, I'll sit there and let everyone else, you know,
I got
try
no
to jump
problem with
up.
people popping up and grabbing their bags. That's
Yeah,
not
depends
it.
on what
second-
seat you're in.
Yeah.
You know, like the second that the plane turns off or whatever, and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be part of that.
The woman across the aisle from me, I've never seen someone move so fast when the seatbelt sign turned off.
Could
and
be a
we-
connecting flight, could be a rush of some sort. You know,
I
you
don't
never
know,
know. But
yeah.
you know, when you
a
just
morning
see
flight too, you know.
when you see a non-gentleman out in the wild, it just makes you question everything.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
So
and then-
true. And also behavior like that with your feet
I
out.
almost thought I was gonna have to ask the guy next to me to put the window, what is it called? The window
Shade?
Yes.
But if he's next to the window, it's his call.
yeah, but in the morning on a 7:30 a.m. flight, you put the window shade down. I just think that should be standard.
But that's
It
just-
should be
across the board.
standard, but he has the window seat, so he gets
No,
the call.
I will say something.
Really?
If it's left open. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're just not
If I-
out of our
if I'm
seats
Some
right
people
now.
pick the window seat because they want to look outside.
Yeah, but if it's that
true.
when it's an
It's not like
early
it's
in
not
the
like
morning,
a 10-hour flight like where you're trying to sleep. Like
I
No,
was
you were
trying
trying
to
to
sleep.
sleep,
What are you talking about? I'm
but-
trying. It's a 7:30 flight. I'm trying to sleep.
But
Great.
some people wake up at 6, 7 a.m. on their daily life and they don't want to go back to sleep.
I understand that, but I think
Bring
on a
some
flight,
night- bring some
I would say a majority
goggles.
of the people around me were sleeping.
And he was disrupting
You know,
them.
no, he put it down as soon as the flight took off. It was yeah.
But you thought you were gonna have to. Say.
Yes, but I.
But then if he were to be like, it's my window, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
There's a world where he could say, I want to have it up. I say, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And look, it's probably on me. I should probably bring a eye mask, but I don't like.
Or by the window seat.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, not my call.
Right.
We were flying for work.
Yeah, you're right.
If I do like a window seat, but you know, sometimes
true.
not
We
my
were
choice when they.
I was putting an aisle as well.
Yeah, when they were.
I don't mind though.
Booking flights for us.
I'm a window or aisle.
Yeah.
I like
And
the
when
window.
I get the aisle, I'm like, ooh, I could go to the bathroom whenever I want.
Yeah,
When
but
I
then you have to
when I
get
get the
up.
window, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
ooh, I'm
yeah.
cozy.
But like, yeah, if you're in the aisle, then you have to like get up possibly multiple times for the people next to
Yeah,
you.
I don't mind though.
I know. I did
Because
feel
I
bad
know
for
what
him
it's
because
like
I
when I
was
have to
asleep
pee.
the whole time, and as soon as I like popped an eye open, because the flight attendant was like, "Wake up." He like got up to go to the bathroom. I was like, "Oh, poor," but he was maybe waiting for me to wake up.
Yeah, I'll try to
I was
time it
out.
if I can, like to be nice. Like if I'll wait for the people next to me, if I'm on the window to go to the bathroom, I'll just follow them so that they don't have to get up.
Yeah,
an extra
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Right.
But anyway, if I see a foot like that creeping up
Yes, I mean just
around the corner, oh no,
yeah. Don't take your socks off and put your feet next to people's chairs. I mean,
no,
what are we doing?
no, crazy.
Your world.
Yeah.
Last topic here. Justin Bieber posted on his Instagram, if you want to collab, if you want to make music together, DM me. Drake commented that he DM'd and got no reply. Now I was thinking, for both Justin Bieber and Drake, what they both need right now is each other. They need to come together and make some fucking hits. These two right now, if they came together and made an album.
Yeah. I almost thought Drake was joking.
No,
He definitely was
joking.
Yeah.
But then it sparked something in me where I thought, wow, if these two came together and made an album, people would go fucking nuts.
Have they made music together?
They just did the music video for Pop Star.
Yeah, it's just when Justin did the music
Drake's
video.
never done like a song featuring Justin or vice versa.
Not to my knowledge.
Crazy. Couple Canadians, you know? Some Canadian love there.
That's
I thought
what I'm
maybe
saying.
they would connect.
Oh, they did. Right here. It was on.
Oh, yeah, right here. That's a Justin Bieber song
like-
featuring Drake.
Yeah, that was like really early on. What year was that?
Yeah, is that on, what was that on? Believe? No.
That was on, Believe.
Believe,
2012. I've never heard that.
So that was a
Nice
long time
call
ago.
for me.
I mean, and Drake was starting, 2011, I would say was Drake's, that's when he started coming on the scene. So that was early on. Now, I think if these two made an album together, people would go insane. I'm putting that at that like Drake should see that comment. I mean, Justin should see that comment and go,
I mean,
oh shit, I got to do something here.
From what we heard of that sample, that Justin could use Drake's help.
He could.
And that was a real song.
And for PR purposes, they could both use each other right now.
Yeah.
If they came together and they let all their personal stuff go aside and they were like, let's just make some banging music for the world, people will just love us this summer. If they put out a summer album, Drake and Justin, everyone would be like, oh, what? What's going on? Oh, they're great music.
Right. No, you're definitely true. Definitely true. You are right.
I'm
That
true.
is true. You are true.
True.
You are true. I'm just trying to think now, like, because you know what came on in the car this morning was a little Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber.
A
You
classic.
know? Like, just
Wait, what song?
get back in with the right people.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know who
get
he's
back
hanging
in
out
with the right
lately,
people.
but they're not flourishing his artistic ability.
No, they're
enough.
no.
They're not propping him up in the ways.
You know who he's got to work with?
Benny Blanco.
Yeah.
And let me
So
say,
I'm all right.
did you
I
see
don't
that
care
slip?
when I'm with my
My
baby?
baby,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Ed Sheeran, Justin
I
Bieber.
know
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that song.
Making me
I don't
feel
care.
like no.
I used
Yeah,
to always
know.
put that on the podcast.
The problem is he's not. Him and Benny will never collaborate again,
Well,
and he does need Benny.
Maybe he will after that. Like,
It's a great
I
song.
love that song. It makes
Yeah.
me tear up.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the slipperoonie that Justin Bieber had, apparently?
Yeah.
Liking the complex posts of Benny and Selena?
Let me tell you something.
I don't
at
know
this
if it's
point, though.
Photoshopped these
I
days.
feel like any of his social media activity, I feel is photoshopped.
I don't know.
Even when
though.
you see it with your own eyes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, have you
yes.
seen his Instagram? That's
yes,
not Photoshop.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so off the rails all the time that when it's like other things, I'm like, I feel like people are taking advantage because
They're like, it
he's
seems
being
believable.
ridiculous on social.
Yeah.
That they're like, ooh, I bet everyone's gonna believe this now if like fan accounts post it, they want to get views, they stir shit up.
Yeah, Noah's looking
But-
up a song lyric.
No,
right
I'm
now.
not. I'm not.
I tell you, yeah.
I don't need to look up
Did you
either.
guys get all those videos from on TikTok of? I literally did not even see the actual episode, but I think I saw the entire thing via clips on TikTok of Benny Blanco with on some guy's podcast. I don't
Going
even
through
know
all
who
this
it is.
way
Going
made
through
music.
all
I
his
feel like
music.
that guy goes on every podcast.
Benny Blanco?
I see him on like a million different
Yeah,
podcasts.
he's been doing a lot, but this one was really cool because it was the first one that I've really seen him like deep
Mm-hmm.
dive into all the songs
saw the
that he's
Maroon 5
made.
stuff.
No, but there's so many.
So
like
many. The
Rihanna,
Katy Perry songs,
Katy Perry,
Rihanna.
Maroon 5, like so many.
Eminem,
And he has
Sia.
all these. He has all like the demos on his computer. He's like playing the original versions
I
of
wonder
songs.
how the artists feel about that
mean-
because he played like the original demo from Maroon 5 for like Animals or whatever the song was, and like Adam Levine, like he didn't sound great. Like he's
yeah,
just
but
playing
it's a
these
demo.
like
Why-
I can't believe I've
it's
never
also
looked this up
his
before.
song.
I'm like, when I see these videos, I'm like, how old is Benny Blanco? But I've never gotten to look up. He's
Yeah.
37, which he is making these songs, he was so young, like still so young in my eyes.
I know. No, it was just really so impressive. And you go back, and my God, did he really make some bangers for Justin Bieber and Selena too.
Have you ever seen that video of Ed Sheeran and Benny Blanco on like a tour bus making Love Yourself, like just on the bus?
No.
It's pretty sick.
No. I mean, he said, I forget which song it was, maybe Diamonds or like something that he just made, that they made in 20 minutes. And it was an end of a session for Sia.
Yeah.
And she was like on her way out.
Her car was going to be 20 minutes.
Her car was 20 minutes away. And they were like, let's just do this. And they like made Diamonds in 20 minutes. And it was originally like Sia was singing on it.
I saw Danny Conrad, who works in Chicago, made a funny video where he's like pretending to be Benny Blanco, like as if he made like the Star Spangled Banner. It's like he's made every song ever.
Oh, yes.
He's like, yeah, so we were just like in the shop working, and then like
he has made every.
No, it's crazy.
He's made every banger out there.
Justin like needs him.
I know, but the thing is, he can never.
Well, no, it's over.
So that's
now.
why he needs Drake.
Yeah.
But you don't think there's any world where like eventually him and Benny like you think they actually like
0% chance
because he's dating his ex?
I mean, he's
gonna marry her.
So
I
literally getting married.
I
in what
know,
world is Selena
it's
like?
Not,
yeah, babe, you head to the studio and work with Justin.
I think it's because
But it's because of the proximity.
I don't think
he,
Justin has
like
a
him.
problem with Benny Blanco getting married to Selena Gomez. I think that they just can never be in each other's paths anymore because of like kind of the way the world reacts if Selena and Justin or Benny or Haley would ever interact with each other. Like I think they just have to not be in each other's worlds.
Yeah, completely. It just opens a whole other can of worms that none of them need, you know.
And does it seem like Justin was having a little bit of a oh my God, Selena Gomez is marrying Benny Blanco moment? A little bit. It did seem that way a little bit.
100% had to have. 100% had to have.
But I think for Selena, she's like, oh God, just ignore him.
No, and it's like it, and even from Haley's standpoint, I think for everybody it's just easier. It's like you said, it's open a can of worms. If there was rumors that Justin and Benny were working together, all of a sudden the girls get dragged into it. It's like this. Then the story becomes, oh, Justin's not over Selena. He's still trying to be close to her. Like, Haley loses again. Like,
right. He
it's
needs
just the same,
Benny.
Yeah, like the same narrative the same like tired narrative would just continue forever. So it's just it'll just never happen. Even though, musically, it would be great for everybody.
It would be, but unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Drake and
Selena
Justin
on the other end. Selena gets the full
the Benny Blanco treatment,
the full plus of not only marrying him, but he made her entire new album, and it's fucking fire. So that's that's what he's missing out on. It's like, oh, this is maybe one of the better Selena albums, and well, it's no coincidence.
Right, good work,
collaboration
Benny.
with Benny.
Now, I don't think there's actually a possibility that Drake and Justin will make music together, but if so, we'll just put it out there.
Yeah.
And it would be, who's
there was a lot of
say?
people in the comments.
They're rooting for
who were either rooting for that or pushing for themselves, which is super fair. Yeah. I would too.
Right.
If I was musically inclined.
All right, that wraps up the topics. With the Truly Getaway Pack, each sip is your ticket to an exotic escape. Take a trip with Truly this spring. 4 exotic flavors inspired by drinks from around the world. There's Arctic Berry, Mountain Paradise, Rainforest Retreat, and Tropic Like It's Hot. Only available for a limited time. You can get it while you can. Still only 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 5% alcohol. I love the Mountain Paradise flavor in the Truly Getaway Pack. Truly is the official hard seltzer of Chicks in the Office, so you don't want to miss out on this and taking a trip with Truly this spring with the Getaway Pack. Like I said, the Mountain Paradise is my favorite, but there's also the Arctic Berry, Rainforest Retreat, and Tropic Like It's Hot. You can find the Getaway Pack at a store near you or visit www.trulyhardseltzer.com. All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly watch report on Monday. If I was talented, I would sing it in the White Lotus theme song, but I can't.
Ooh.
I can't.
That
We lost the whole jingle.
I know, because midway I thought, fuck,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, that guy's
Weekly
he's
watch
probably looking for
report
work
on
now.
Monday,
So
weekly
Yeah,
watch
right,
report
he's out.
on Monday, weekly watch report on Monday, weekly watch report on Monday. Yeah, no, the composer's out now, so if he wants to come here and do the jingle for weekly watch report, we probably should just record it and play it every week.
no, I think it's better that it changes every
It's
week.
charming.
It's
It's kind of
variety.
like, what mood is she in this week?
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, I mean, I want to talk about White Lotus right off the bat, but I think I got to get the other stuff out of the way because we're going to spend a while talking about it, I assume. I had to watch Anyone But You on the plane yesterday for a second time. I just had to.
Yeah.
I saw it. The opportunity was there. And man, I loved it even better the second time.
Yeah,
I
it's a
really
great
did.
movie.
I think it's a great movie. I missed some things. So I was like watching on the plane. I mean, both times I watched was on a plane now, but I paid attention a lot more this time. And I even liked it the first time. But this time I really was locked in. And I think it was partially because, now I'm rooting for them as a couple. But God, what a film.
It's a great movie.
It's really a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an A.
Yep.
I'm gonna-
Warm-hearted,
I'm-
fun,
Wow.
lots
I
of
feel like you
laughs.
probably didn't even give it an A the
I
first
don't think
time.
so, but second watch,
Second watch made it better for her.
Yeah, really.
Well, I think now there's more like you're
No, but
buying into it.
I was like crying at it. I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. I guess I cry at a lot of things, but whatever. Love it. Summer House,
We watched on the plane.
we did watch on the plane, live television on the plane.
It's the toe thing is just really being amped up into like a big thing.
Yeah,
and
this
a big
Jesse
storyline.
Solomon storyline.
Yeah.
I don't hate it like a lot of other people do. I think people.
No.
I think people despise it, but I'm also not totally interested. Like it's running a little long for me.
Yeah, and I think it's very fair to say that Jesse maybe sold Lexi a little bit of a different story.
Right.
I think when it was just him and Lexi, he was so obsessed with her, telling her everything she wanted to hear, and then maybe not acting that way when Lexi wasn't around.
Right.
Obviously, we saw what was happening for some of these moments.
And I think if it was any of the other girls, okay, so say Sierra and Lexi are switched right now, and Sierra is the one becoming exclusive with Jesse, and he doesn't tell Sierra about the toe thing, but tells her he wants to be exclusive and then sleeps with her that night. People would be losing their goddamn minds.
Right,
Because they would be like,
I think
that's
the
so
house would have a
disrespectful.
different reaction,
They
too.
would have a different reaction. Now, I think because Lexi is new and they're not as close with her, there's not so much of a large reaction to it, which, they're not that close with her. So you are more protective of your other friends, but it's still not right. Like, he chose to keep things from her that he knew would upset her, and then was able to sleep with her. And she was clearly hurt by that. She, you can feel however you want to feel about Lexi, if you think she's interesting, uninteresting, whatever. It is a little sad when someone is very honest about how they are in relationships and the way they work in that sense. And then it kind of gets like taken advantage of.
Yeah.
It is disappointing to see. Overall, I'll give it like a C+. I mean, I find it entertaining every week. It's just nothing crazy is really happening.
Yeah, I don't care for like the Lindsay and Carl stuff too. I don't know what it is. It's just like I know it wasn't that long ago because it really wasn't, but it just feels so far removed now, just from where they are in their lives.
Because Lindsay's having, she got
Yeah, she
pregnant
had a
pretty
baby.
quickly
Yeah,
after and is having a baby.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just move on.
So it's just
from
like
this.
it's seeing her get upset about a potential DM from this girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't know. And apparently that girl did share that she sent the DM in October and it wasn't August. I don't know. So and I sometimes I'm like, what's Gabby doing? Because sometimes I feel like she really kind of like gets Lindsay riled up a little bit when maybe she needs the opposite.
Yeah. She needs to be more like, listen, he's an asshole. Who cares? You moved on with your life. You have this exciting new chapter. Like, kind of like give her that more energy rather than Carl was a cheater.
Like, he sent that. Oh, he totally responded to that DM. It was August, blah, 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 whatever was going on. I don't know. So, yeah, that's fair, though, for Summer House.
Yeah. Southern Charm reunion.
Part 2.
I mean, did we ever think we'd be in a place, and maybe I'm in the minority here, that we feel bad for Austin Kroll? Because I felt a little sad for him. Not gonna lie. I feel like
so fair.
Craig was clearly reacting in a place of being hurt by his relationship and everything. And the way that he was just like, well, we just won't be friends to Austin. I was like, it kind of just feel like it's his way or like whatever. And I felt bad for Austin in that moment. And like Austin was saying when he sat here with us, I do feel like Austin has grown a bit. He doesn't talk about how much he's grown, but I think you could see a little bit how he's grown. Mm-hmm. So I felt a little sad for him in the moments with the Craig situation. It wasn't a good part 2 for Craig, let's be honest. Yeah. And I think, it came off of, it was like kind of around the time of everything happening, and I think he was probably in a not so great spot.
100%.
And the lawyer lying thing was incredibly bizarre, because he said he didn't ever lied on camera, and then they showed it, and then he still was like, well, I didn't, and it was like, no, you clearly lied, and Andy kind of called him out for that, and he seemed like he was in a weird spot, and I didn't like watching it.
Yeah, I don't think that was the best version.
It wasn't a good showing.
Yeah, I don't think that was the best version of Craig at all. And like you said, definitely going through a lot in that moment, and we know when they filmed that reunion, there was just a lot of outside stuff going on too, and I think that was a big struggle for him. He seemed a little checked out when you're having those conversations, and as a friend, that's one of the most frustrating things, is when you're maybe arguing with a friend, or you just want to address certain types of behavior, and you're just saying how you feel. You're just trying to explain to that person how you feel. Austin's just trying to explain to Craig how he feels.
Yeah.
And when your friend's reaction is not hearing you and trying to understand, it's like instead you get, well, if you think that about me, then maybe we shouldn't be friends.
Right.
If you think that about me, then maybe we're just not friends.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm coming from a place because I am your friend and I want to help.
Yeah.
And when you just like dismiss me, like, actually, then let's not be friends. Yeah. You're like, see, like, this is why I don't bring anything up, because I'm afraid of how you're gonna react.
Right. And like no apology from Craig or anything.
Yeah.
Like, Craig could just be like, oh, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, and whatever. And there's And then if Austin is still difficult, then maybe, don't be. But at this point, it was just like an immediate reaction. And then the only time I've ever agreed with Shep, really, was he was like, Craig, like, you were going through, like, the Adderall and the addiction. Like, it's okay to say that you lied. Like, which he was right. Like, it's okay to be like, I did lie about that. And you know what? Everyone knows I was not in a good place. I was addicted to Adderall. I was doing all these things. I was lying about that. It's okay to own those things. People should 100% be able to make mistakes and change them and grow from them as years go on. Or else, everybody has, like, or else everyone would be the same all the time. That's no good either. So, like, if Craig was sitting there being like, yeah, you're right. Like, I was in a bad place when I was lying during those times. And, I try not to be that person anymore. Like, totally different. But instead, he just continues to lie. It just wasn't a good showing. And it really wasn't a good showing, honestly. Yeah. But I think it was around that time of, he was going through
I think it was
breakup and
so many different things.
So many different levels to it. But I'll give that reunion a C+ as well.
Yeah. He was on the defense a little bit too much, which is tough. And I don't blame him, because it is hard as well when you're with a group of people and you're going to get defensive because you feel like everybody is coming at you a little bit. And
everyone's saying they're scared of him.
You're scared. Like, yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, we're all scared of you. And then I'd be like, come on, guys, really?
Right. You're like, now you're making me seem like a monster. Everyone's scared of me.
Yep.
So there is that point of like getting really defensive.
Yep.
And, when everyone's gaining up on you, but then you also have to own up to some things.
I wish he did handle
just
that with
a little
Austin
bit
differently.
Just a little bit better. But, going through a hard time. So, and then the White Lotus. So the finale was Sunday night. Everybody was waiting for it, amping up, all the theories going on and on about it. And I'm still digesting it, I feel. I feel like I'm still taking it in.
That's fair.
I don't even know where to begin. I guess I don't know where to begin.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I guess we'll slap a spoiler warning if you haven't watched it yet.
Spoiler warning.
because I know, which is crazy to me, because this was the one thing that I'm like, if you're not watching this on Sunday night, you're toast.
For sure.
Like, you can't open social media. It's literally everywhere.
Even from the actors themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They're posting everything. I don't know. I go back and forth because I think that the show, like you said, like the finale, it was an hour and a half. So you hear hour and a half and you're waiting for like these big moments to happen. And I don't know if maybe everyone's expectations are so high, but having it be like a full hour into the episode, really, even almost a little bit more before there was murder.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God. I don't know. I just want, like, I think they did tie up a lot of storylines. I understand that. But at the same time, I felt that there could have been so much more at the end with everybody. Like, all of a sudden, it was just like people died. Now everybody's left the resort.
Right. Well,
and
I think
all in like 10 minutes.
Right. And I think I actually have come around greatly on the fact that I got so attached to these characters more than I even thought that I was originally. And I really appreciate the show for what it is rather than trying to make it to be something else in my head. Like, this show is really it's a deep dive into these characters with a murder on the side. It is not supposed to be really a murder mystery show. It's supposed to be, I think, a deep dive on people and rich people and this life, rather than a whodunit type of thing. It just has a murder. It just has a little murder sprinkled into it. And I think when you think of it like that, you appreciate it a lot more, because there's a lot of complaints about like, well, nothing happened with these people, nothing happened with that. Well, no, there are lessons, I think, in between all of it. Like the three women, right? There, it's like, okay, well, their storyline was wrapped up because it's three best friends who grew up together. They're going to talk shit about each other. They're going to talk behind each other's back. At the end of the day, what happened? They're all still friends, and they all came together.
And it is funny, though, that when the shooting happened, she ran away immediately. Like, did you see that?
Yeah.
I forget their names, but she like left her friends to like.
Well, I mean, they all ran.
No, but like I think it was like symbolic of like she was like they're like, we love each other, and then she runs away immediately. Like, doesn't even think about her friends.
I feel like all three of them ran away pretty fast.
Yeah, I thought they ran.
She was like,
which one are you even saying ran away first?
Jacqueline, the
one who was crying. Like, no.
Oh, Lori.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I didn't pick up on that.
They all looked pretty shocked and all started running.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I feel like that storyline was tied up nicely because it was sort of just, like I think there's lessons in between all of them rather than like a nothing happened here.
Yeah.
And I grew to really love these characters. Like I think, was it my favorite season? No, but I think I got more attached to these characters for some reason and I want to see more of them. I mean, the family, I think people obviously wanted to see what happens when they find out they're poor, but that's not the kind of show that the White Lotus is. They don't really give the go home and find out how everyone reacts to things. Yeah, I think
it's more about the anxiety.
Right. It's like and then it leaves you wondering kind of how they'll feel. But do I wish there was a little more in the first hour? Yeah, but I think the more you digest it and look back on it, you just think more about the characters and the lessons and the deep dive into that rather than like the action pack. I mean, the dialogue on this show I think is just fantastic.
Yeah,
like the writing is so good, but it's not. I think people want, and I don't know how to word this correctly because I think Mike White is a genius. But I think people want him to be even more of a genius than he actually is. Where they're like, they want him to come up with something that nobody could possibly fathom ever remotely happening, or nobody could ever think of this theory.
Yeah.
When you have people speculating every minute, every hour of the day of this show, somebody's going to be right. There's theories all over the place. It's just now with the way that the conversation around TV, with TikTok, Twitter, whatever, there's just so much more conversation to be had and people throwing their theories, whatever, that like somebody eventually is going to come up with something. There are still surprises, but like there's going to be something that people get right. And like I think they expect Mike White to pull something out of his ass that no one could ever possibly pull from their brains. And it's like, well, no, he's trying to make it a little bit more realistic than you think. I don't think he's trying to do these major like plot twists. There's a lot of foreshadowing in the show that people are like, oh, spoiler, this theory spoiled. No, there was actually foreshadowing in the show. The amount of times Chelsea was like, oh, bad things happen in threes, and all these things she was saying, the snake bite and all that, like, when you look back, you're like, oh, that was all like
Yeah, definitely. I also think that each season is so different and similar, and like they're similar and different in the same way, where I think people were more surprised by the end of the second season and therefore expected the same kind of thing to happen for the third season when it was just kind of a different story being told, and money really, once again, it's, it is so money driven, and that is such a big part of it. It's like when you think about it in that aspect, it is so clear where they were really going with so much of it, right? It's like, the Ratliffs, they don't have money. He was literally going to kill them all.
I was cracking up at that scene.
Didn't. I know. When she was like, there's a whole shelf of wine. Like,
I genuinely was losing my mind laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, he's going to kill them all.
But then I don't know. There was just a couple things with the family that just fell a little short for me, in the sense that, and I know everyone's like, oh, I really wanted to know what happened to them. And like, I get it, that's not really the point, but I know everyone kind of has that desire. But I don't know if it was like, because, like you said, because there's so many people talking about it, and if you open TikTok, there's 9 million theories, and everybody's saying, oh, I think this is going to happen, I think this is going to happen, that then when you watch it and it does happen, you're kind of like, oh, like, yeah, he did take the fruit and the whole thing. And of course, obviously, whatever what happened with Lachlan, it's like you didn't really see that coming and whatever. But I felt like there were so many, like, that just felt a little disorganized to me, in the sense that, like, I guess it was supposed to maybe, but, oh, the fruit, they all drank it, but then they were fine, but then they weren't supposed to be fine.
They took little sips,
there was only a sip, but then maybe he drank more, but he was still fine.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know. I didn't necessarily love the way that all wrapped up for them. The Rick one I thought was totally going to happen. What?
I felt that way about everything. I was just like, even when Chelsea got shot, I'm like, oh, like, it just seemed like, oh, let's just wrap this up somehow. Like, she gets shot because of him. I don't know.
But I think that one was way less. That one was I felt that one was way more symbolic.
Yeah, that one tied into the whole story though.
Yeah.
Chelsea, like, the only thing she ever thought about was Rick. Like, her tunnel vision was on Rick, and she put this guy before herself, who really didn't show he cared about her until the final moments when she died. I think showed a lot, where it's also, I think, a lesson in, like, if you can let go of the past, if you hold on to the past, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah, I thought the Belinda thing was good, though, that she did exactly what Jennifer Coolidge did.
Yeah, she ends up like Tanya.
And it's like, people will just take the money.
Let's just throw it out there. Her son, one of the worst acting.
Oh, really? You think?
Oh my God, I thought, like, I actually was cracking up because while I was watching, I was like, man, I think he's a horrible actor.
Really?
But at the same time, then because like people were like, oh, Disney Channel actor. I do think, though, part of it is like he's a sophomore in college who's studying business, so it's very like cringy, corny, like,
because I thought he was trying to act like his character was trying to act like,
older and like a business guy, but still. So I think it was part of his character, but kind of made it seem like he was a bad actor. But it was really because he was like a cringy sophomore in college who's studying business.
Yeah, he didn't bother me at all. Really, I thought that made a lot of sense, and that's a tough one for Belinda. She pulled, it just goes back to like what money makes people do, and power, and the same kind of thing with Guy Talk and Mook. Like, she clearly wanted him to like get that promotion and be more important, and of course when that happens, money is involved. Now you're gonna get a raise. Like, all of a sudden you're her head of security. Like, that was
funny when he's driving.
You're gonna have the more money. And I feel like that was just another one where she was pushing him all season to, care more and get like tougher and like, oh, you have a gun now, you can shoot the gun and all these things. And when he got the opportunity to shoot Rick, he did, and he got rewarded for it.
Yeah, I thought that Mook was going to have a bigger role because she's Lisa.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
No
bigger role.
Yeah.
It really was of a smaller role.
She was just the motivating factor for him, I think, to really lose a lot of the moral compass that he had, and maybe like this job wasn't for him, but he is so infatuated with this girl that he's going to do whatever it takes, including murder.
Yeah. I thought the robbers were sort of pointless. That it kind of turned out to be
that one
pointless
ended
to me.
up
like I was like, really, nothing's gonna
Yeah,
like
it's
Lori.
like, they need the money.
Lori's
like,
not gonna
Right.
tell her friends about the stolen jewelry.
I know,
Like,
which is why I guess it's just like another thing of like the money, right? It's like a lot of times it feels like on White Lotus, Mike White goes with the path of like those that are devious and like morally compromised, things work out for them. And it's like, oh, we'll watch these guys who have no money rob the hotel, but they get away with it.
Right.
You know?
And it kind of just felt like I thought something was bigger was going to happen.
A lot,
with them.
even Sam Rockwell, like I loved him and I love Sam Rockwell, but a lot of I'm like, oh, like what was the point of all that? Like it was just he just partied with him for like a night.
Yeah, I don't think that Rick's dad had the big that maybe they thought it was gonna have. Like I
well,
really
just the
don't think
everyone predicted. Like it's like you knew,
but I just didn't care about Rick being upset about that his dad was killed. Like I don't know why, because I felt like it just had nothing. Like I don't know why that whole storyline to me. I was like, I just don't think I really care about Rick's dad being killed, to be completely honest, and how he's upset about it. I loved Chelsea as a character a lot. And
same.
And, how she talked to Rick and whatever, I thought had a lot of meaning behind it.
Saxon.
And Saxon, and I wanted to see, and this is the other thing that you have to accept, like, as this show, is like, you're not going to see the reactions you want to see. Would we have loved to have seen how Saxon reacts to Chelsea's death? Yes. Like, did he even know she died? Like, we just see them on the boat. We don't even know she died. But I thought Saxon, those moments when he's looking back on Chelsea, just like the facial acting, the more the reactionary rather than like the actual acting. And I mean, how sad that Lachlan, it really, and I read this in the article that they did with the Hollywood Reporter. Mike White was like, yeah, people think this season's about incest. It's not. It's really just about a kid who like wants to do the things that that he thinks his family loves. And one of those things is Saxon's always talking about sex and whatever. So like Lachlan thought, oh, like my brother will like me if I'm, get sexy with him. And like he literally said to his brother, like, no, I just want to I'm a people pleaser.
And then he wants to stay with her, and then she's like, actually, fuck it, I don't want to stay anymore.
Yeah, so he just like wants to do what his sibling, he just wants to be accepted by his siblings, which actually was just sad because like for a little bit, you thought that maybe he was just a freak, but he really just wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
Which I felt so sad when he was going to die. I was like, oh my God, this is actually really sad.
That was so funny when Piper was saying like, I'm superficial, like I can't do it, and the mom was just like, so
that was
proud.
like my favorite part.
That was amazing.
I was cracking up. She was so good. Parker Posey was really so good. But yeah, in Victoria, she's just like, oh.
Yeah.
She
takes her to go shopping.
Every superficial thing out of her mouth, she was like, oh, amazing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, and the food. Oh yeah, you can't eat that food.
No, and she's like, we have to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And then takes her shopping.
Yeah,
And she's like, if it makes you happy, get it. Like it's just that whole thing was so good. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be desired, but I feel like we all just have to accept that that's what this show is now. Because now going into the third season, like. Okay, in the second season, some of the characters come back. So you're like, oh, we get to see some of the characters.
Right.
So then in the third season, you're like, oh, well, will we see some of those? We just have to accept that once this season's done, we have to say goodbye to these characters. And if they come back, that's great. And we get to see some of those characters again. But it's kind of like we have to wipe our hands clean. I mean, thinking back to the first season, you're like, whatever happened? Did they get divorced? Did they not get divorced?
No,
you don't know.
You do feel that way with every season.
You feel that way after every season ends. But then
Yeah.
you think somehow it's going to change. It's not. It's kind of the same format every time. You don't get to see those reactions that you want to see.
It's within the time limit of the vacation. Right. And it's like, oh, you don't see
them when they go back home.
You don't know what's going on when they're not on the vacation.
Right. It's not the point of the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot to be desired, but also some.
I know. I'm so torn. Like, it's like I go back. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot, and I think it's great, and I think the show is so well done, so well written. But at the same time, like, the episode didn't end, and I wasn't like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of just went right to bed.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely my least favorite of the three.
And yeah, I feel like I got so attached to these characters, and I think that was another part of it where I'm like, I'm so attached to these characters, but it's not my favorite season, but I like have a desire to know them more and want to see more of them. But it is it's a back and forth in the head. It's accepting the show for what it is and appreciating the writing for it. And then the other part of, like, we all always want, like, something more. We all want something juicier or something big, but it is what it is, sort of thing. I think there's just a lot of lessons in it, and I think the more you deep dive in it, I think it ages well. I think the White Lotus really ages better than the initial reaction that first night.
Definitely. And it goes into what we've been saying all season 2 after we watch an episode. It's you watch the episode, and then what has made the show so great is there was such a discourse about it online, but because there was such a great discourse about it, everyone was like, oh, all these symbols, all these things are adding up. So it wasn't quite that big shock. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you see all that symbolism, and it is really cool, and it is art, and it is very impressive. And even I was watching a TikTok before of some guy breaking it down of just the difference between the scene of the kids on the boat on the way there and how they're all sitting versus the kids on the boat on the way back and how they're sitting. And when Rick and Chelsea fell into the water, that they were literally shaped like the yin and yang, and she had always been saying, we're like the yin and yang, and we connect, and just there's so many different things that you're like, wow, so much goes into it. And so much thought goes into it. It is really smart.
Yes, that it makes you appreciate it so much more after you watch it rather than while you're watching
exactly.
it.
Like, you're not expecting to be like, oh my God, something so shocking, the Ratliff father took the gun and shot 8 people in the hotel. Like, it's, it's just, it's not going to...
You know what would have been a bang, though?
There's really all these lead-ups to show you what is going to happen.
If he just jumped off the boat when he was looking out on the water, if he just jumped off the boat and it ended.
Yeah.
Like, if that, I would be like, oh shit. That would have been like a whoa. But
I mean, if you really think about it, it is crazy, and it makes sense, even though people are like, oh, nothing, you want to see what happens with them. It's like, no, his whole story was, would he literally kill his entire family because they don't have money? Mm-hmm. Like, how important is money to this rich family that he would straight up kill all of them because they could not live without the money that they have?
Yeah, and they all said it. They all made it a point. They're like, we can't. I couldn't live without the money. And the one that said he could, he was gonna save him, and then he almost actually died.
Yep.
But the one thing I do hate, though, so much, is people online that are like, well, if you didn't think that this was fantastic, then this show just isn't for you.
People.
Yeah, no,
the people that
people
that gatekeep TV shows and act like, well, if
you get it,
you don't get it. You're just not it's not for the intellectually challenged. Like, that's literally how people act. I'm like, okay, get off your fucking high horse. Because even Mike White himself has said, like, some things are not the way that people are trying to make them seem. Like, they're really just straight. They're pretty straightforward. And then there are themes and symbolism that do tie into it. It's not like people have to stop doing the gatekeeping. No, but there are for sure people, there's a lot of reaches. Of the TV shows of like, whoa, you just don't get it. It's like, okay, well, shut the fuck up. Because everyone can have an opinion about the show. Everyone's allowed to watch it, Yeah. It's out there. So I'll give it a B+. Because I wasn't obsessed with it, but I did like it.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a B+.
Fair. My grade I'd probably give it a, if I'm going to be true to myself, I'll probably give it a B.
That's what I'm giving.
Like, it is really good. I enjoyed the season a lot. So well done. The acting was fantastic. The writing was fantastic. I think that it just moved. My personal preference is to have a little bit more, like a little more fast paced. Even if the finale was just a little more fast paced, I think I would have come around to it. But
it was slow.
It was slow. It was slow. And I know that it was slow for a big setup at the end. And those last 10 minutes were very gratifying for everybody that wanted, something to happen and have these big moments. But I would have loved that action to have been dragged out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you really see
it just all happened in the last couple moments and then it was over. Yeah.
And then it was over. Which I'm sure was purposeful, but my personal taste would have liked for it to be a little longer. So I'll go with a B for the finale.
Chicks in the Office is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Your well-being is worth it. Visit BetterHelp.com/office today to get 10% off your first month. Once again, visit BetterHelp.com/office today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/office.
Summer House, I'll give an B-. I thought there was more going on in this episode. The kickball whole situation made me laugh. I thought that was funny. Southern Charm reunion, I'll give C+, probably in that range too. It's nothing too crazy to wrap up the season. I started The Studio. I watched the first 2 episodes. I haven't watched the third one yet. I'm behind on the second half of all TV that came out in the second half of the week.
Me too.
Behind it because we were traveling.
I watched The
So I haven't
yesterday.
So The Studio, I haven't watched. The Pit, I haven't watched.
Yeah.
So The Studio. But I did watch the first 2 episodes, so I'll give that, honestly, I'll give that an A-. Really good. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked it. I thought that second episode was so good.
Yeah.
The whole one shot, it was really, really great. I'm also behind on Righteous Gemstones because it does come on right after White Lotus. Yeah. But last night it was White Lotus went long, so then I'm caught up with last week's Righteous Gemstones, which I will give I'll give that an A- too. I thought that was a very funny episode. It was the one with them on the lake when they were trying to break up.
I need to catch up on
it. They were trying to break up their dad and Lori, and I just thought it was very, very funny. Judy was cracking me up. She is so fucking funny.
She's the funniest character.
And Walton Goggins naked for a lot of this last season. Let me tell you,
hot in the street right now.
My God, he is naked, very naked in this in Righteous Gemstones. I watched the Long Island serial killer documentary on Netflix because
Go Beach.
Yeah, and
my God, I have to watch that.
Oh my God, did they fuck that up so badly? He was right under their noses, and they have a bunch of and corrupt Suffolk County police and the shit that was going on, and it was
the picture of him on the train?
Yeah,
that's my cousin's picture that he took of him and posted on his Instagram years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that is so crazy.
Isn't that insane?
It's so crazy because
when it was caught, it was like, oh my God, I posted a picture of this man on the train.
Yeah, and these people really just I felt so bad for these girls' families because they fought so hard for them to be seen, and they just did not get the attention that they deserved because of their profession and the things that they were doing, and because they were sex workers. Felt like they just didn't give them the right amount of attention when it came to trying to find it. The fact that one of these women, they knew exactly what her last spot was. They knew exactly where her last location was. And it took them 18 months or something to finally search the marsh that she was last seen at. And the cop's like, the marsh is just, it's tough to get in the marsh. Like, it's like, and I'm like, what? That's it. They were like,
crazy.
They were like, yeah, the marsh is just like high and wet and like we couldn't search it. 18 months?
That's insane.
You knew exactly that she just, like, you knew that she was last seen literally
just
at
lazy.
the marsh. And there's also these two guys that lived with, I think they lived with one of the girls, and they gave the police the exact description of him because he was at their house and she was scared and she called her friends to come back to get the guy to leave, and they came and when she was murdered, they were like, she had a guy come recently. We had to get him out. We did not. It was a bad situation. Full description of the guy, everything. And it was him. And it was like 10 years that he gave before they gave the description. They gave the description 10 years before.
I gotta watch that.
I thought it was really well done. I will give that a B+. I was pretty locked into that. And then I watched The Life List on Netflix, which is a new Sophia Carson movie, which, by the way, she is like Netflix romance, really her niche.
Mm-hmm.
She crushes it. This movie was really sweet. I cried. Oh my God, it got me. Connie Britton as her mom. It was so good. If you haven't seen it, really the premise is, it's a young girl, mom gets sick, sadly passes, but she finds a bucket list that young, Sophia's character had written when she was like 13 and was like, I need you to do all of these things basically. And, made video messages for each thing. Is really, really sweet. Obviously a romance. Really great. I don't know too much about Kyle Allen, but my God, will I deep dive into whoever the next Netflix romance. You give me a new guy. That's how I found Nicholas Galtzine was the first one I watched. Purple Hearts, and I was like, oh, so also Sophia Carson movie.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely adorable. And now he's coming on my TikTok all the time. He's a dancer.
Ooh.
Ballet. He's doing all these ballet moves. He's very impressive. He was in West Side Story as well. But really sweet movie. I really liked it a lot. Very heartwarming. I was like trying not to cry, but it still got me where I was like, oh my God, very sweet. I'll give it. Honestly, I really liked it. B+.
I was on the edge of my seat there.
Yeah. I'm between an A- and a B+, but I think I'll go B+. And that's everything I watched.
I finished Running Point, the season 1. It was fun. It was
it's
good.
a fun ride.
It's a
yeah,
fun
it's
watch.
like super
Easy
corny,
watch.
obviously,
It's cute.
but
It's
like,
easy.
I enjoyed it. I'll give it a B-. The rest of the season. Celtics episode 5. Give that an A. It's like when Larry Bird's winning, so it's pretty awesome.
So obviously
It's sick.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
The studio episode 3. That's just like, I think it's gonna be an A all season long, maybe an A+.
Wow.
It's an A right now. Just like the cameos and seeing these like actual directors, and there's another director in this episode. Like their acting is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like,
seeing Scorsese in the
It's crazy.
other one
He
is
was,
crazy.
like, he should get
Scorsese was
nominated.
so good.
Yeah. Like I'm actually shocked at like it's like the Entourage thing where you're playing like yourself but a different version of yourself. So yeah, it's an A. I went to the movie theater yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and saw Black Bag, the Michael Fassbender movie.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. And it's quick. It's like an hour and a half movie. Solid. I'll give that an A-.
Wow.
Like,
I don't even know what this movie is. I'm not gonna
Kate
lie.
Blanchett, Michael Fassbender. There's a ton of actors in it.
I love Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, he's always great.
That's a solid grade.
And it's kind of like, I don't know how you would describe it.
It has a 96% on
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's a thriller, but it's kind of I guess they're spies. I'm not really sure you would call them.
When
but
his beloved wife Catherine is suspected of betraying the nation, intelligence agent George Woodhouse faces the ultimate test: loyalty to his marriage or his country.
Yeah, and what's his face from Bridgerton is in it. People are always saying he's not doing
Reggie
anything
John
else.
Page.
Yeah. He's in it. Pierce Brosnan. It's a good cast. And so yeah, I'll give that an A-. And then the White Lotus, I'll give it a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely my least favorite out of the 3. But like if I'm just judging it on like I'm watching this one season, never saw the other ones, like it's still a solid show.
Very
like,
solid. Yeah.
I
totally.
think season 1 might be my favorite, honestly. Like the more I think about it.
I loved season 1.
Yeah,
I don't know, something about season 2. Maybe it's just because it was in Italy.
Right.
I think that plays a big factor.
Theo James.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I think about season 2, I'm like, but Theo James and Aubrey Plaza were in it.
Yeah.
I prefer like the seasons to be self-contained. Like I don't need like callbacks and crossovers of like I'd rather just be like, this is a completely new season.
Right.
Like, oh, we're not talking about Jennifer Coolidge or like I just want completely.
Well, because it is
slate.
interesting because it's like you don't get every story continuation.
No.
It's obviously just what Mike White wants to continue. So that
But I feel like
is
people
a little.
love Jennifer
No, but I'm
Coolidge
saying that
so much that it was
100%. It's like a fan. I don't know if it's fan reaction or honestly, I think it's how much he loves the character. Mike White said he loved that character so much that he wanted to keep it going. So it's like, oh, there is a little bit of a frustration where some characters you're never going to hear from them again, but Greg's storyline has continued through it all.
You said this in a text, like, if they made an all-star season, that'd be so cool.
That
like,
would,
if they made,
it
the
would.
best characters from each season.
Yeah, that would. I mean, that would be amazing if they did that. I would be
I
into
could see
that.
that. It's like they invite them back. They're like, hey, we know that you had problems with your last day. There were murders. Like, we want to invite you out to this hotel. Like for
or they don't even address it. They just all end up having to go. They go to another.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
no, but very solid.
Yes,
for sure.
All right, that wraps up everything we watched. That wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. The best show on earth, of course. We love you guys. We hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Big hugs, big smooches. Love you guys. Talk to you Wednesday.